Natural disasters such as floods and droughts have become an all too familiar part of our news broadcasts, impacting both developing countries in Asia and Africa and developed nations alike. Recent examples like Cyclone Idai and Cyclone Freddy underscore the devastating impact of these disasters. The increased intensity and frequency of such events emphasize that the consequences of climate change are not a distant future concern, but an urgent issue affecting both our well-being and the health of ecosystems. Yet, amid the challenges, there is hope. Instead of resigning ourselves to the impacts of these disasters, we must adapt, mitigate, and consciously shift our approach to how we interact with the world. Communities, organizations, and governments are taking steps such as growing their own food and rehabilitating degraded areas to reduce the impacts. While these actions may seem like drops in an ocean, collectively they create a significant difference. However, individual efforts alone are insufficient to address the impacts of climate change. There is a critical need to change how we build and manage infrastructure, how we exploit resources, and that's where our project comes in. This requires new ways of thinking and new ways of education and training of our future engineers and environmental scientists. Rhodes University's Institute of Water Research has secured a 3-year grant titled Nature-Based Solutions for African Climate Resilience as part of the Erasmus Capacity Building for Higher Education initiative. Collaborating with universities in South Africa and Senegal and involving European Union partners, the initiative emphasizes revision of higher education institution curricula with courses on nature-based solutions, real-life assignments involving stakeholders, and ethics in innovation. The project will specifically focus on updating and contextualizing environmental science and civil engineering curricula by and for Africans.
Les solutions fondées sur la nature sont définies par l'UICN comme des actions visant à protéger, à gérer durablement et à restaurer les écosystèmes naturels ou modifiés afin de répondre durablement aux défis sociétaux de manière efficace et adaptative, tout en assurant le bien-être humain et en produisant des bénéfices pour la biodiversité. Grâce au nouveau paradigme de développement qu'elles promeuvent, les solutions fondées sur la nature ouvrent un certain nombre d'opportunités pour les pays africains.
Les solutions fondées sur la nature sont de plus en plus encouragées. Il s'agit notamment de prévenir les inondations en ralentissant les débits, de conserver des zones naturelles pour augmenter l'infiltration de l'eau et la teneur en eau du sol, afin qu'elles soient disponibles pour les plantes. Le sol permet également de filtrer l'eau et d'améliorer sa qualité. Les solutions fondées sur la nature en ville incluent également des méthodes pour diminuer la température grâce à l'évapotranspiration des plantes et donc sans mobiliser de sources d'énergie artificielle.
Nature-based solutions are useful as a means of mitigating the impacts of climate change and building resilience through the protection and restoration of natural ecosystems. In South Africa, this relates to opportunities around the creation of water-sensitive cities to address, for example, issues of water scarcity, flooding, water quality degradation and biodiversity loss, as well as alien vegetation clearing in water catchment areas to enhance water security.
Ce projet aura sans nul doute un impact positif sur l'école polytechnique de Thiès, en ce sens qu'il nous permettra, en tant que formateurs, de monter en compétence sur les aspects liés aux solutions basées sur la nature. Le projet nous permettra également de mieux former et sensibiliser nos étudiants sur les solutions basées sur la nature. Dans le contexte actuel, il est important de travailler avec et non contre la nature.
Our project focuses on integrated design, merging engineering principles with ecosystem requirements. Unlike traditional solutions that often ignore broader impacts, we strive for infrastructure that meets not only engineering goals, but also societal and ecosystem goals.
Les solutions basées sur la nature sont des approches innovantes pour répondre à divers défis environnementaux et sociétaux en travaillant avec la nature plutôt que contre elle. Le projet nous offrira certainement l'opportunité de renforcer nos programmes sur les solutions basées sur la nature. Il nous aidera à découvrir des pratiques et des stratégies qui favoriseront le partage d'expériences. Ce dernier sera, à mon sens, bénéfique pour nous et nos partenaires. Les nouveaux programmes aideront nos futurs ingénieurs à prendre conscience des solutions basées sur la nature et à utiliser ces pratiques pour résoudre non seulement les problèmes climatiques auxquels sont confrontés nos pays, notamment la purification de l'eau, la régulation climatique et le contrôle des inondations entre autres, mais aussi à intégrer l'infrastructure verte pour améliorer le bien-être humain.
Our project represents a global trend of learning from nature, finding solutions in its tried and tested methods, promoting resilient and sustainable ways of being. Choosing to invest in adaptation is also economically sound. A recent climate adaptation gap report by the United Nations Environment Programme states that adaptation in areas of finance, planning, and implementation is slowing, despite growing impacts of storms, floods, droughts, and heat waves. Unfortunately, the adaptation finance needs of low-income countries are 10 to 18 times higher than that provided by multilateral and bilateral public financing support for adaptation. The message is clear. Investing in sustainable practices, whether in agriculture or coastal protection, is far cheaper than fixing the damage after it occurs.
Research shows that in the past decade, we are continuing to exceed planetary boundaries, including those for climate change, pollutants, and freshwater use. We need solutions that cross disciplines, such as infrastructure that is not only built to serve a single function, but that is designed for multifunctionality. More and more people are turning to designs and solutions that are nature-based, or those that build with nature. This was the basis for conceptualizing our project of hope. Grounded in scientific, social, and economic principles, the project challenges the business-as-usual approach to infrastructure development and encourages both students and professionals to question traditional solutions in development. Stakeholder involvement in our project will ensure that the project outputs have local relevance, they address climate change impacts, and retain talent in Africa as an outcome.
Ce projet original soutiendra notre institution dans ses efforts de mise à jour de ses programmes d'études en intégrant toutes les opportunités offertes par l'intégration des solutions fondées sur la nature. C'est aussi un cadre d'échange privilégié avec des partenaires d'Afrique et d'Europe qui nous accompagneront dans le cadre de ce projet et avec lesquels l'EPT pourrait développer des accords de coopération scientifique et académique. Par ailleurs, le projet nous offre une opportunité idéale pour développer des échanges pertinents avec des collègues d'horizons divers.
You might have heard of the term ecosystem services. This is a market-driven approach to understanding the services provided by a healthy ecosystem. For example, clean water filtered by wetlands, pollination by wild species, and materials like reeds for structures are some of the ways in which environments provide, mitigate, and address our interactions with our local surrounds in pivotal ways. Unfortunately, the benefits that natural environmental processes can provide are often lost in traditional infrastructure development. By consciously designing and creating infrastructure that considers opportunities for nature, restores ecosystems while enhancing its design, operation, and maintenance, is the new paradigm for development, allowing us to approach relations with environments beyond just the services it provides for humans, creating opportunities for innovative solutions that allow for more sustainable relations with our environment. We acknowledge that the way forward is not simple. There are barriers, both political and social, that could prevent the realization of these innovative solutions, and therefore conscious inclusion of stakeholders is essential. Despite these challenges, our project is a testament to universities across Africa coming together with the belief that together we can build a sustainable future and ensure a harmonious coexistence between humanity and the environment.